Mina Kimes is going against the grain. She's in I honestly think Coach JB is in her head. She's now saying that I think quarterback play has never been better than we are right now today. And this sent QB play used to be, this sent JB's head into explosion. I think to some degree, she's trolling Coach JB, or Coach JB's in her head. She's saying foolish things, trying to be provocative, but also trying to trigger JB. He's been hounding her. I've been hounding her. You've been hounding her. Mina Kimes, the expert analyst. Well, you're on JB's show. Mina Kimes, the expert analyst on the National Football League, the little Asian lady that grew up a left tackle, I think, in Pee Wee football out in California or somewhere. You think she's being serious here when she's saying QB play has never been better?
I think she is. I don't think she knows any better. Look, everyone's entitled to an opinion, but I will take that opinion as seriously as the knowledge that comes with it. And look, Coach JB was ahead of the curve by at least 2, if not 3 years. He played the position, he coached the game, and people say, well, it's just him. Okay, but you and I have noticed this, Jason, in the last few months. Guys like Kurt Warner, who's only in the Pro Football Hall of Fame and went to a couple of Super Bowls, who breaks down this tape, doesn't look at analytics and numbers. He actually looks at the game and can explain it, have said, man, this quarterback play is bad. By the way, he's not the only one. And you just look at the breadth of how the consensus has changed from, wow, all this game's wide open, everyone's running spread, RPO, to, boy, these games are kind of hard to watch. And basically, games are hard to watch when you have bad quarterback play. So look, Mina Kimes can have her opinion. Coach JB and I and many other guys will reserve the right to vehemently disagree with it.
TJ, but I actually think she's trolling us. She's like someone will send her a clip of this and she'll laugh and say, this is exactly what they're talking about me. I think she has a right to have this level of confidence. I think she's got ESPN by the balls. I think they're paying her nearly $2 million. She's DEI. She feels like she's got the wind at her back. And it's like, yeah, I'm just going to say things just to irritate these group of sexist pigs like Coach JB, Jason Whitlock, Steve Kim. I think she's having a good laugh as we react to her just saying silly things. And she's bulletproof.
10% of the pie is what you're talking about, I think. 5 to 10%.
No, I agree with you, but you could, that can be your read. I actually think it's 75% of the pie, but go ahead.
Yeah, my read, I think it's 5 to 10% in my view. I think the Charles Barkley quote about analytics comes to mind, where he says, that's crap, that's for idiots, and it's created by a bunch of guys who ain't never played the game and they never got a girl in high school. She's an analytics person, and she sits there and looks at completion percentage is 73%. Look how good these people are. And all day, every day, because she doesn't know how to look at film, she can't even tell you what cover 2 is. She's one of the people who thinks cover 2 should be outlawed, I think. And she looks down and says, look at the stats. This is the best it's ever been. I think she's that dumb.
I think the game has changed more than the quarterback position has diminished. I mentioned this a few weeks ago. I think that we put this brand on young quarterbacks having to be the franchise quarterback and that they should earn that position as opposed to being labeled that position. Look what's happening in Chicago right now. Sean McVay is at the head coach of the Rams. Yeah. Matt Stafford. How long has he was a first-round draft pick in 2009. Sean McVay, one of the offensive geniuses. Look how terrible this offense looks. I think the game has changed. This guy's had every reason to show you why a veteran quarterback and a great offensive coordinator should be dominating a league. If the quarterback play is so bad, he should be outstanding, and I just don't see it across the board.
Whether you're using unencrypted or unsecured Wi-Fi networks, ExpressVPN keeps you safe by shielding your connection from prying eyes. It makes you much more anonymous, helping you browse the web without leaving a trail. Plus, ExpressVPN makes it more difficult for advertisers and big tech to track you online, putting you back in charge of your digital footprint. Find out how you can get 4 months free by clicking the link in the description box below or by going to expressvpn.com/fearless. Here's what's happened though, Butter, and this is why she's wrong, because the game has changed. They don't practice near as much. And so if you don't practice, you're not going to be near as good. And that's what people that actually know the game are seeing. And so the offenses are more limited. When you don't have actual practice time, you can't do live reps. You dumb down the playbook because you just don't have time to practice. It takes, didn't Malcolm Gladwell do some book where he talks about you got to do things in rep like 3,000 times, or you got to, in order to develop a high level of skill at something. And they don't do that in the NFL. They don't do it in the NBA. They don't, I would imagine they don't do it in Major League Baseball. They've reduced practice, they've reduced the time and preparation. Now everything, you watch all the videos and it's guys working out in the gym, sculpting themselves. So they are more athletic, they jump higher and all this other stuff. But in terms of the actual skill that it takes to play the position, bad technique wins. I watch, some talented offensive linemen play with no technique. And, that's part of the problem with the left tackle for the Kansas City Chiefs, who's an embarrassment and is the biggest detriment to that team and protecting Patrick Mahomes. His technique's horrible, but when does he have time to practice it? When does he have time to practice against live competition? It's not there. So, to expect Mina Kimes, who's in her mid-30s, her depth of knowledge of the NFL and, having evaluated what went on in the past, she can't do any of that. It's not really her fault. She's too young. She's been put in a position she hasn't earned. She's there for DEI. I think she's figured it out. Like, I can't win, so I might as well troll these guys. I'm getting paid a couple of $1 million, probably a 5-year contract. And she's like, look, all of this money is stolen. That's why there's no respect for the position. In terms of Jamel Hill, when she had that job, the 6 or whatever, and they're paying her $2.5, $3, $4 million or whatever. It's just stolen money, so she had no respect for the position, and they'll just say and do anything. I honestly believe, Steve, 75% of this is her just laughing out loud at all of us.
Maybe. There's a lot of self-pity with her, which you've pointed out, but let's be honest. When it comes to the football panelists on ESPN and the guys that play the game, like Dan Orlovsky, Damian Woody, and Rex Ryan, who coached it, and if they're sitting around talking shop about how do you attack a cover 3, she couldn't do that. Do you really think, sincerely, like, Mina,